What's going on, everybody? What is up? Happy Tuesday to you all. My bad. Happy Thursday to you all. We are now live here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. This is another episode of S.A.D, something about Dynamite here on the YouTube channel. And also, we're also live on Twitch. If you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video stream a big old thumbs up. If you're on the YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified whenever, we go live here on the channel, here on the Around the Point Network YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, hit the follow button. But join us here on the YouTube. That's where most of the interaction is at here. It is Thursday, October the 24th, 2024. This is your AEW Dynamite recap of everything that went down last night on the October 23rd edition of AEW Dynamite. As always, I'm Steve. Here I am. Yeah. Oh boy. Let me tell you something, man. This show last night was in the mud. Oh yeah. Way in the mud last night. Let me say that to y'all right now. This show was in the mud. Completely in the mud. Show stanked. No doubt about it. There's no way around it. It says it all right there. John fucking Moxley made everyone look stupid last night. He literally made everyone look completely stupid last night on the show. But I want to hear from you guys also in the chat. Let me know your thoughts on the show. What did you like? What did you not like? And all that fun stuff. And yeah. Look, I'm not the only one that felt that way. There's a lot of people out there who are not happy with the show from last night. A lot of people are not how do I put this, invested anymore. The worst episode ever by C Money. I bet no Millie. Well, Brandon Brown, I'm glad you brought that up. So the rating did come out literally moments as I'm going live. Moments ago, as I hit the live button and all that stuff, and I hit the countdown. For those of you that are wondering, gee, what are the numbers looking like right now? Well, Dynamite last night, the October 23rd edition of AEW Dynamite, got 637,000 viewers. 637,000. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, what did NXT get on Tuesday? They got a 702,000. Yeah. Mind you, I want you to keep this in mind though. Last year, AEW did 901,000. Just, I want to point that out to you guys. Again, people think we're crazy. People think that, but no, I just want to point that out. Last year, they were 901,000. Now this year, damn, bro, what happened? What's going on? Who do you put the blame on now? What was on? Was there NBA games? Yeah, I'm sure they were. I mean, what's out there? What happened? Was there hockey? I'll wait. But be that as it may, like I said, this show last night, it stunk. It completely stunk. Completely stunk. Guys, just give me 1 second here. I got to take this call. 1 second, y'all. All right, I'm back. But yeah, man, look, last night's show stunk. You thought, okay, last week's show was the post Wrestle Dream show. And you're wondering to yourself, how are they going to bounce back? How are they going to get the momentum going again, right? It make you look forward to watching the show. And they did what they did, and now you watch last night's show. Man, what are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? But be that as it may, there was a couple of things here and there. Maybe one good thing on the show that I thought was cool, whatever. Everything else, just forget about it. Forget about it. This might even be a short episode, by the way. This might be a short one, by the way, but we'll see. Mind you, look, I'm not the only one that feels that way. Let me show you guys what cage match. You know how Tony loves cage match. You know Tony loves his cage match. This is the rating they gave the show, by the way. I shit you guys not when I say this. I shit you not. This is the rating they're giving the show. Cage match, you know, the site that Tony loves so dearly. They're giving Dynamite a 4.72. A 4.72. I mean, I can't be the only. Again, we're not the only ones here. Let that marinate for a second. Let that shit marinate for a second. You know? But yeah, what are we doing? It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. But let's get into the shall we? Let's get into the show. Let's talk about what happened last night. The show opened up with a John Moxley and BCC recap that aired from last week, where you know they were beating up the jabronis from the roster, the Dark Order, freaking Private Party, right? The jabronis of the roster, right? And you see, and now Moxley cutting a promo of a vignette where Mox basically reiterated that all of AEW now works for him. Mox went on to add, imagine what they all could do, what they all could become because of tonight. A small part of someone will be destroyed for the greater good. And we found out who that was later on in the night. And I got to be honest. Yeah. Very, very uneventful, to say the least. But I know where they're going, what direction they're trying to go with. And I'm still like, what are we doing? You know, what's going on, Anthony? Hope all is well with you. But let's continue with this, shall we? And then you see in the arena, members of the locker room, the jabronis, the jobbers, right? The guys, the men, the folks that are there to collect a paycheck, if you will, right? The Rampage and Ring of Honor crew were all just chilling in the parking lot with their weapons, right? Ready to attack. They're waiting, right? Waiting for the BCC to show up. They're ready to fight right there in the parking lot. You had, if you look at this photo, because I have it's in the thumbnail, right? If you look at it, right, you had Top Flight, Private Party, you had Daniel Garcia, you had Mark Briscoe in the background, at that point Ring of Honor World Champion. You had Kyle O'Reilly, you had the Dork Order, you had Karen Jarrett, all of them just waiting with weapons and just ready to go and wait for the BCC to show up. And then we get to the opening match, right? We get to the opening. Not even that. We get Tony Schiavone, who interviews Adam Page about his loss to Switchblade Jay White at Wrestle Dream. And Page gloats about costing White. He gloats about costing White his bout against Christian Cage last week, almost destroying Juice Robinson's career and defeating Austin Gunn so hard that he can't remember his brother's name, Colton, from his brother's name. But then Colton Gunn struck Adam Page from behind as the fight spilled to the ringside. Back in the ring, Page removed his belt and attempted to strangle Gunn until White and Robinson intervened, but Page escaped. Page was limping heavily after his altercation with Gunn, and he stated that he could hobble away, right? but not hide. White said that he can limp away, but he cannot hide. White is aware of how badly Page's leg is wrestling, but Page may cover up his flaws with blood, barbed wire, and fire all he wants. But when the bell sounds, he'll never touch the switchblade. They haven't seen the last of each other, so Page should ice his leg, and they'll see each other again soon. Like, look, they can probably get their match. I mean, their match at Wrestle Dream wasn't bad at all. Cool. Run another match. That's fine. Likely, I don't know, for TV, maybe at Fright Fest or whatever the fuck they're calling it, right, next week, but we'll see how that goes. Or if not, maybe on Collision or something. I don't know. But be that as it may, we move on here. We move on. We get the opening match, Shelton Benjamin versus Sammy Guevara. I'll say this. I like this. Yeah, I like this right here. I like the fact that once again, we're making Shelton Benjamin feel like $1 million. We're making Shelton Benjamin feel like the most dominant force right now on this roster. A badass. And I know last week I gave praise to Leo Rush for making Shelton look like $1 million. I can honestly say the same thing for Sammy Guevara. Even though I think Sammy did a couple more flips than he needed to do, but it was fine. And, there was that spot near the end where Sammy Guevara did a springboard from off the top rope, and he got super kicked by Shelton Benjamin. Yes, it was a callback to Monday Night Raw from 2004 when Shelton Benjamin wrestled Shawn Michaels. And Benjamin did the springboard and got sweet chin music by Shawn Michaels. So I can appreciate the callback, the nostalgia. Hell, even some people pointed out, it's even a callback to like sometime in 2019 when Sammy Guevara did the exact same thing and got super kicked by the Young Bucks. This was, I believe, when the Elite were feuding with the Inner Circle. So that was cool. Again, look, man, I thought it was a good match. Again, you knew going in that obviously Shelton Benjamin was going to get the win. And obviously he did. And again, in case you guys don't know, in case you guys don't realize it, Shelton Benjamin is facing Swerve Strickland this Wednesday on Friday Night Dynamite. That's what they're calling it, Friday Night Dynamite. So you want to give him momentum. Likely this is where the streak ends. This is where Shelton might get a loss or take the pin, or who knows, maybe Bobby Lashley shows up next Wednesday. We'll see. We'll see how that goes, but they'll be in Cleveland, by the way. By the way, this Dynamite from last night, they were in Salt Lake. Let me see what they were in the Maverick Center in West Valley, Utah. West Valley City, Utah. Crowd sucked, by the way. The crowd sucked. A lot of echoes and shit, but be that as it may, what do you expect? It's AEW. What do you expect? So after this, we saw Renee Paquette approaching Mariah May, walking out of the locker room with Mariah May was walking out of the locker room with Anna Jace's luggage. She opens and throws it down the hall. May stated that Jade does not belong in the same ring as her. And then Anna Jay arrived, and they both began to fight, and Daniel separated them. Cool. Look, I'll be honest. I love Mariah May. I think she's beautiful to look at, all that stuff. But be that as it may, I'm not digging this title run. I am not digging it at all. Not digging it. So there was that. For what it is, it should be a match that's whatever. Likely Mariah May does get her win, and we do see Mina Shirakawa make her appearance. So we'll see how that goes. After this, we did get Kyle Fletcher. He came out and he explained why he turned on Will Ospreay. Don Callis helped Fletcher realize that Ospreay never wanted him to reach his full potential because of who he is. And guess who I'm joined by right now? Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mr. Tony Khan. Tony,
Uh,
good afternoon.
Steve, what kind of intro is that, man? Why don't you give me the full intro that you normally do and everything? Look, I just,
Ladies and gentlemen, joining me here right now, he is the CEO, the owner of All Elite Wrestling, the two-time Wrestling Observer Booker of the Year, and also runs Ring of Honor, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Fulham FC. He's your friend, our friend, the one, the only, Mr. Tony Khan. That
thank
better?
you, thank you, Steve. That is a much better intro to what I do, But also, I just wanted to argue with a lot of the fans that are giving this show a lot of harsh criticism. I heard what you were saying about the echoes and everything. It's AEW. Like, what's with the harsh criticism
Look
on
at
my
that, Mr.
show?
Look at that cage match.
No,
4.72.
no. Everyone's just upset because Chris Jericho won the ROH title, and Chris Jericho is being hated for no reason whatsoever. He's being hated for a story that was proven debunked, and people are saying they're sick and tired of him, but obviously not because he still does really well in the ratings. So I just think a lot of people. What they were saying about this episode is just blinded by hate. It's just blinded by hate, and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Mr. Khan, I have a theory. Maybe you can't answer it now because maybe there's something going on, but I will just give it anyway if that's okay with you. I want to believe you are trying to find a good network for Ring of Honor. And by having Jericho win the title and Jericho's name after all these years still carries a lot of weight, maybe that can lure said network, whoever it may be, to acquire, the services of Ring of Honor on their cable network or television station, whatever it may be.
Well, Steve, this is why you're not running a television network. That's not the reason why I put Chris
Ah,
Jericho. It's not why I put Chris Jericho as the ROH World Champion, man. I put him as a World Champion because it made sense for the story that we're doing. But well, Anthony, I think you're getting numbers from wrong people. You're not getting the numbers that I've been getting. Where Jericho's numbers are actually some of our strongest numbers.
really?
Yeah, if you look at the YouTube, you got to combine all the numbers, man.
Well,
You can't
let
just
me.
look at the numbers that you guys see on the ratings. You also got to look at the numbers on YouTube, social media. Jericho's very important to what we do. So, Anthony, you're not looking at the right numbers. You're only looking at one specific number. You're not looking at the full picture of what Chris Jericho provides as a champion.
Well, let's see here, shall we? Let's have a look. See, Mr. Khan.
I don't think
Okay.
this episode was that bad. Steve, I don't think the episode was that bad. I thought it was one of the best episodes we've done in quite some time.
I don't know, Mr. Khan. A lot of people were not a big on the show, man. A lot of people, like I said, there's some things that I liked on the show. Like I loved the presentation of Shelton Benjamin. Once again,
And look at how I'm building him up. I'm building Shelton Benjamin up as a legit threat. He defeated two of the hot young stars in AEW. So,
why Romeo?
well, wait.
NXT wins again.
Well, who is a who, it's ridiculous, man. NXT didn't even have that great of a competition compared to me.
Do a Twitter search for Chris. I mean, didn't LeBron and Bronny Jr. Didn't they team up for the first time? A
Well,
father and son duo.
whatever, who cares? But anyways, as I was saying, okay, it's just because people on Twitter, they're mad at Chris Jericho, they hate him and everything. It's not they're hating one match, they're not looking at the show overall. I built this show, I built up Orange Cassidy as a legit main eventer by the end of this show, that you wanted to see Orange Cassidy beat the crap out of John Moxley. I thought I accomplished that, Steve. Did I not? Did I not accomplish that?
Uh, I appreciate the attempt, Mr. Khan. I can respect the attempt.
What
I
do you
can.
mean? There was a great attempt. I made Orange Cassidy into a legit main eventer in one episode.
Like I said, Mr. Khan, I can respect the attempt.
Well, I get it that the matches weren't up to the par of what everyone said. I had two enhancement matches on the card, but when everyone always bitches at me, they always saying, "Oh, well, there's no stories. They're not building anything." I had great promos throughout.
Well, again, Mr. Khan, a lot of people, Orange already beat Mox. But I think that's the
That's the story.
that's the key.
That's the story. That's the whole point of the story is that Orange Cassidy can defeat John Moxley, and the AEW roster wants Orange Cassidy to step up and be the wrestler we know he can be.
I was gonna say that, Mr. Khan. He already beat him, so maybe that's the thing. You want him to see, want to see if he can do it again. I was gonna get to that, Mr. Khan, but I was just doing a little
No,
research.
if these people that really, to be honest, they don't appreciate when I actually put an effort to my stories, and instead of saying, "Wow, that the episode wasn't the best in the read, but storyline wise, it was very effective." I literally enhanced 3 stories on this card.
Well, to
3.
be fair, Mr. Khan, I'm looking at it right now. This whole right as of right, mind you, it's not even 24 hours yet, but the YouTube clip of Jericho winning the Ring of Honor World Title for the becoming the Nueve so far has 115,000 views right now.
That's a strong number. That's a very strong number.
On Instagram, on my bad, on Twitter right now, 322,000 viewers.
Very strong. Very strong. How many likes? How many impressions? How many views on the little view thing on Twitter? It's not just the views on the video. There's also the people who viewed the tweet, maybe didn't hit play on the video.
Well, right now has 1,700 likes, 148 bookmarks, 401 reposts. This is Twitter, by the way. This is Twitter. You know how it's.
Yeah, these are great numbers. These are great numbers. So, Anthony, if you want to question Chris Jericho's star power, maybe you should just look at the overall impact Chris Jericho brings to All Elite Wrestling television.
Okay, I can respect that, Mr. Khan. I can honestly respect that. Believe it or not. You see that I'm actually agreeing with you here on this one. Can you believe that?
Steve, did you thought last night's episode of Dynamite was it good or bad? You tell me. Don't do the I don't know, Mister. No, just tell me. Did you think it was good or bad?
You want me to be honest with you? Want me to shoot with you here?
Yes. Just be honest, Steve.
There's room for refinement, in my humble opinion.
No, is it good or was it bad? I want one of the 2 answers.
No, was not a good one. For my liking, it was not.
And I put effort into stories, and then when I don't put effort into the stories, next week Fright Night's going to be a great card with great matches, and we're going to say, "Oh, it was just a bunch of good matches." I can never win with these haters, these robots that WWE has paid to make sure everyone hates AEW. No, it's the truth. There are robots that are paid out there to paint my product as bad. When I put out literally, I enhanced 3 storylines. I enhanced my AEW World Title storyline. I enhanced MJF and Adam Cole, and then I also enhanced other multiple storylines with the Elite and Private Party. There's a lot that I did on this episode, storyline wise. Yes, match wise, it wasn't the best episode match wise, but storyline wise, I thought it was one of the most impactful Dynamites.
If you say so. If you say so, Mr. Khan.
What do you mean if I say so?
If that is what you believe.
Next week, when you're on this show with whoever you have on, you ain't gonna shit on it because you're gonna be like, "Oh, it was just a bunch of matches. There was no progression. What is this gonna do for Full Gear? Oh my god!" And it's like, what can I do? What can I do? How much is Paul paying you, Steve? What is it that the robot is telling you to say when you do your review script, huh?
Well, but I will say this, Mr. Khan. You just try your best, man. That's all you got to do. You just try your best at the end of the day.
I always try my best. Every single week is a great episode.
If respectfully, yes. I have a question for you, though, Mr. Khan. I do have a question, though. I have a question here. Can you explain this photo right here, Mr. Khan? What were the discussions being made?
That was what the mayor of London he was thinking of. He was thinking for all the revenue that AEW has brought to the city.
Oh, really? To the city?
Yes, to the city. Why on Reddit? Do you have a Reddit account, Steve?
Well, I'm trying to find a good picture clearly, you know what I mean? And it's all we could find. Reddit. Other ones were blurry and, very, ugh.
I have a Reddit account. I thumbs down all the haters. I told all the haters to, kind of suck it that hated this episode of Dynamite.
Speaking of private parties, have you partied with Sean
That
Combs?
that's a horrible question, and I will not be answering that. Thanks for asking, though, Brandon.
Either Orange Cassidy turns heel or joins BCC, or will he be the guy to beat Mox? Tune in and find out.
Thank you, Julian Couponer. Someone gets the story that is trying to be told. No, I don't tell stories. I don't do anything. If this was NXT, you guys would just let it slide. They do a bunch of junk on that show. You guys let a lot of junk slide. What was that NASCAR driver dancing with the Latina? That was ridiculous.
Well, 4 years ago, MVP was wearing the same tie, and he wore last night in a backstage segment with Ricochet.
What does that have to do with anything?
I
What
think
does that have to do with anything, Romeo? Is he a
I
robot too?
I think the belief is that there's the same segment happened almost 4 years ago when MVP, when he was in the Fed, as the kids say, he was trying to acquire multiple people to the Hurt business, and one of those people were Ricochet. So
Okay,
it's kind of
well, how is that the same story? Ricochet is feuding with Takeshita.
no, but it's similar backstage. MVP interrupts Ricochet, and he hands him a business card. So
But
it's like,
at that time, Steve, they were feuding. They're not feuding.
who to say, right? I mean, honestly, I
I
think
know
it'll
who's to
be.
say. That's what I'm saying. You guys just nitpick all this crap.
I was
You
gonna
guys know
say,
you
I
guys
was
don't know
going.
you guys don't know the
Hold on, I
context.
was going to
You guys don't
say,
know the context of everything.
it may be a good fit. Who knows? I'm intrigued. You know
Ricochet,
what I'm saying?
Ricochet is a star on his own. Maybe he does join MVP in that business. Who knows? Who knows, Steve? But all I can tell you is you guys are being way too harsh on this episode of AEW Dynamite, which was one of the best episodes we put out. You guys are just what's that? We're projecting your hatred of Chris Jericho over it. That's what you're doing. You're just projecting your hatred of
Some
Chris
people want
Jericho on this show.
Tony. I'm a Jericho fan, but honestly, I feel he should start passing the torch. It's just his ego is refusing to admit he passes prime. It's
And
great.
he's not past his prime. Sorry, Steve. That comment really pissed me off because he's not past his prime. He
You know,
just it's crazy how he has not lost a step inside that ring. It's not his ego. I booked the show. Okay.
I think Street Business should be MVP, Shelton Bench, and Powerhouse How Bobby Lashley and Swerve. Just my opinion from T and Couponer.
Well, that's a good opinion. Ian Couponer's on my side. He knows good shows when he sees them. He's not hating on it like everyone else. We're trying to belittle what I try to say.
So it's funny. Someone at work today told me, "Yo, man, does Jericho have some blackmail on Tony Khan? Does he have something
He
on him?"
does not have blackmail. Your coworker's an idiot.
He's like, "Oh, does he? Was Tony at a party somewhere in Medellin in 2021 or something? I don't know, man.
No,
Come on,
no. Now I know you just made up this combo.
I don't know. Like that's look, listen, man. Who knows? Have you ever been to Colombia?
I'm not going to comment on that, Steve.
Okay, Tony, I don't know what you're talking about. You're just refusing to admit that he is past his prime.
I'm not refusing anything because he's not past his prime. If he was past his prime, I would sit him down and I would say, "Hey, Chris, it's time to move on." But he's not ready to move on because he's still great. What are we talking about here, man? He's not past his prime at all.
Yeah, so hey, but look, man, that's what people are saying. Again, who am I to tell people how to react? You know, I think anyone has the right to react the way they feel, how they want.
No, but Steve, it's a constant of AEW being hated for no reason. It makes no sense. And I can't do anything right for some of these dumb fans. They don't understand what I'm trying to do. And they're saying they don't even give the product a chance. They just read results and they think they know what's going on. When really, to be honest, if you watch the show, it's a good show. It is a good show. And that's why I'm upset right now because when I put in effort to tell the stories, people shit on the show. But yet, when I just have a bunch of matches, guess what happens? People still shit on my show. It's these robots, man. I'm telling you.
Would you feel, Tony? Can I ask you this question, Tony? If it was up to you, would you prefer the old format of having 4 pay-per-views a year instead of monthly
I
pay-per-views?
like all the pay-per-views. I love all the pay-per-views that I've made.
But if it was up to you, would you rather have that format of booking 4 pay-per-views a
We,
year?
we've evolved. We've evolved past 4 pay-per-views.
Okay, just asking a simple question. Nothing to get upset about here, if you
I'm not
will.
upset. I'm upset at the idiots.
Okay, well, I understand, Mr. Khan.
Well,
I
this is not a 4-star show. This show was good for the 2 hours that it was on television. I'm not saying it was a 10 out of 10, but say it's the worst Dynamite of all time is absolutely ridiculous.
Look, I think there's been worse over the years, if you want my humble opinion, but be that as it may, uh, I just thought last night's was no bueno, no bueno. But I
So
hope but I hope you guys can bounce back.
we we always bounce. There's no bouncing back. We're staying on the course. What are you talking about?
Well, let's see here. Restore the rating.
The
Okay.
rating is great. Stop it.
No, Mr. Khan. This week last year, you guys were at 901,000.
Okay.
This year, well, this week, you guys were at
What was the what
637.
was the demo? What was the demo?
Well, let's see here. Let's see. I guess I saw on a tweet from somebody.
On a tweet.
Yeah, from again, some people look it up and they try to find the information. Let's see here. Let's have a look see, shall we, Mr. Khan? The demo was 0.31
For this week.
for that. This was last year. Last year. This week, 18 to 49 demographic was a 0.19.
Oh, okay. Well, still a good demo.
If you say so.
It-
If you say.
Oh, well, I'm behind the scenes, Steve, so I know what's good and what's not good.
Tony, I'm a fan of your product from Anthony. Can you explain to me why, when I watch it on TV, it looks like the arena's half empty and you have to shut up portions of the? I think you explained this before, Mr. Khan.
Yeah, Anthony, I explained this before. We rent half of the venue. We only rent half of the venue because we can't promise to sell out the venue. If we could promise to sell out the venue, we can buy the full arena for the night because we also have to be considerate of the arena and the staff that they have. It costs a lot of money for the arena, and I pay my talent a lot of money, and my talent does not complain about the empty side of the arena.
I guess so.
Could it be our talent, Tony? Could it be
What?
ours?
What?
Wait, this is sad.
Yeah, I'm tuning in because, man, what an episode! I cannot believe you put that out on 2 hours of TV. Wow.
Ladies and
And
gentlemen,
people,
joining us here as well. He is the COO, the man in charge of World Wrestling Entertainment, the one, the only Mr. Paul Levesque, Mr. Triple H.
hey Tony. By the way, thanks for buying some tickets from WrestleMania. I saw that. Saw you bought 6 tickets. Crazy.
Also,
And buy tickets.
I forgot to mention as well the current Wrestling Observer Booker of the Year, Mr. Paul Levesque.
Okay, Steve, that award was rigged. It was a rigged vote.
Whatever, Donald Trump, whatever you say. But anyways, as I was saying, people thought 2 weeks ago my tape show was horrible. My God, you had 2 enhancement matches back to back. I honestly can. I'm honestly surprised that you allowed this on television. And the guy you're building up, you should have built up a year ago. And now you're pushing him because you're realizing, oh, he's a merch mover. Wow. I I am just baffled at your booking sometimes, man.
What are you doing here? Why are you saying that I bought tickets to WrestleMania when you know I didn't buy any tickets to WrestleMania?
Really? Okay. Yeah. I'm just gonna ignore those 6 sweet tickets bought by one Shad Khan. Just gonna ignore them. Just
I
What?
guess I buy sweet.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's bought 6 of them. All right. So you don't think I see the ticket numbers? By the way, Steve. Steve. Why is Chase lagging? Why hasn't he bought tickets yet?
Well, to my understanding, there's a connection issue. There's a long line, and that's all. That's to our understanding.
Yeah. Maybe Steve. Here's an idea. We should just run half half of the
Stadium.
yeah, like we did for SummerSlam, because our superstars won't care if other people are not on the other side.
Make a valid point. I even heard someone suggest on Twitter, and there's a lot of people, Mr. Levesque, now that you're here, that were claiming that these prices are ridiculous. I think, again, people need to understand it's WrestleMania season, it's Vegas, so and also factoring in the current WWE product has improved leaps and bounds over the last
Listen,
couple of years.
Listen, WrestleMania is a once in a lifetime experience. We do a lot of shows year in and year out. Our goal is to break records. I understand what people are saying. I get it. I understand. Understand the tickets out now are combo tickets. So when you're paying these, oh my God, there's so much money prices. You're not just getting one show, you're getting two shows. For an example, Conor McGregor, when he was at the T-Mobile Arena, his nosebleeds were as much as my tickets in the 200 section. Nosebleeds for Conor McGregor, 1,600. My 200 sections are 1,600. And I'm not giving you one show, I'm giving you two.
Yeah, there you go. It makes a valid point. But I heard someone say on Twitter, what would be cool for those that, who can't afford, for 2 nights, if they go one night, but the other night that they don't go, what if WWE were to present the show via the Sphere? People can sit down, watch the show on the big screen.
Steve, you don't think we know what we're doing?
Hey,
Just how much.
I'm just
Steve, no, Steve, that person, he has a great idea. Maybe we already have that plan implemented. Who knows?
Hey, it could very well be.
I mean, look, we are going to sell individual night tickets soon. I know some resellers are selling their tickets individually, but we're going to sell those soon. Look, 2 nights of WrestleMania, it's crazy. I don't expect the same people to come back to back every single night. But what I can tell you is,
Hey, Steve, this is sad. Not WrestleMania ticket talk time. Can we talk about AEW?
Tony, shut up. I'm
What the-
trying to talk about tickets, selling out arenas, something that you're struggling to do because you can only rent half of the arena. So can I please finish? And then we can talk about your inferior product. But anyways, as I was saying, look, just be patient. Look, you might get tickets cheaper down the line. These ticket prices are not going to stay this high. Trust me, we will adjust. We want to make sure people can come to the show. Individual tickets will be out soon, and you might be able to say, "Yeah, you know what? I can't do Sunday, but I do Saturday." We understand Sunday is Easter, so we understand not everyone's going to make both shows,
and
guys.
and
Guys,
420, by the way, and 420, by the way.
what is that?
It's they people smoke the devil's lettuce.
Oh, come on, Paul. You know what that.
Toby, I haven't drank in a drink since my heart surgery, man. I don't even know what weed is.
But Mr. Levesque, Anthony here has a question for you. Anthony, a long-time listener to the show here. Paul, I'm also a fan of your product, but I sometimes feel that I can't afford tickets. It feels like you're pricing out everyday WWE fans and focusing more on the corporate sponsorship fans.
You know, Anthony, that's a great concern to have. And look, we have a bunch of people that decide the markets and the tickets that should be going. And look, like I said, if you feel these tickets are crazy, just go to any UFC show, look at their cheap seats, and you'll see how much they are for one show. These tickets are the combo price tickets. Combo price, which means the seat that you buy, you're going to have the same seat the next night. It's 2 nights worth of action. So if you keep it that way, if you use that logic, you're pretty much paying. Look, I'm just going to say it. Sunday WrestleMania is always the most expensive. Saturday WrestleMania is the least expensive. When you buy your ticket on Saturday, it most likely will be cheaper than the Sunday ticket. That's just how it goes. And we used our math, and our team used the math to make those tickets.
There you go, Mr. Tony. Here's a question from CPZ here. Tony, are those all in Texas tickets on sale?
Yeah, Tony. Where's those all in Texas tickets?
Well, they're on sale until next year, man. Don't. We're getting away from the point of what this show is about. Should be about AEW Dynamite and
The horrible episode you put out. Yeah, we know. It's okay. Tony, it's not because of Jericho. He actually probably had the best match on the card last night. Just
Yeah,
that.
he put on some effort. I'll give him that. He took, he went out there. Did not have to do a ladder war. Did not have to. But hey, what can I
Tony,
say?
it's just that it's not interesting, man. I was watching the basketball games and I saw your commercial. Said the future is now. But yeah, you show John Moxley, Brian Danielson, Mercedes Monet, all people that we established. You're not focusing on any of the guys that you made. And the guys that you made are doing feuds that don't make them bigger stars at all. So why should I care? Hangman Page is in a weird feud with uh, Jay White. I think that's his name, right? Jay White.
Yeah,
People,
the
yeah,
switchblade, Jay White.
he put both of our pictures up. You don't need to. You don't need to brag. It's going to get Tony upset. But anyways, you're doing that. Swerve, not on your show. So Shelton Benjamin has to beat up one of your young stars that at one point you were calling a fucking pillar. How does that help anyone? It doesn't. And then finally, the private party kids win in a stupid trios match. And then challenge the Young Bucks to a tag title match. And then say if they lose, we will disband. Why are they so desperate for the tag titles that they just lost? Do you have no other tag teams? Look, I know I'm not perfect either, but this episode did nothing. It absolutely did nothing. So I can understand why fans are upset.
okay, Triple. Yeah, who wrote that script for you? There's no way that you
Believe it or not, Tony, I actually watched products. I don't just hate watch. I watch a lot of wrestling. Keep
Just like
tabs
you,
of
Mr.
talent.
Khan. Just like you, Tony. I'm sure you watch a lot of wrestling, not
I,
just
I, I
AEW.
feel I feel what you're doing is you are mad that I didn't give you Ray Phoenix, and now you're just hating.
I got the
Tony,
right place,
that was a little bitch move on your part for sure. But
Bitch, boo! Oh, come on, man, you done worse.
I've done worse. Are you serious? I've done worse. All right, whatever, man. Anyways, Steve, just was gonna come in, and I came in, and Tony blasted my eardrums with his whining. So, what? Why am I? Okay, CPZ, I know what you're trying to do here. That's
Yeah, Mister. I don't see color. Yeah, I got you there.
Oh, here we go.
whatever. I don't get why people take that comment so fucking literal. It's insane.
Oh, look, here's a question of Anthony, Mr. Levesque. Paul, I'm a big fan of Drew McIntyre and Gallus, so I'm wondering, are you planning on calling up? Are you planning on calling up Gallus and them up with and hook and teaming them up with Drew McIntyre with your building his heel persona?
Listen, Drew right now is recovering after a vicious Hell in a Cell match. I I don't know what Sean wants to do with Gallus. I mean, Sean has all the say of who's ready and who's not. So yeah, not a bad idea though. But
Yeah, not a bad
I don't know. Sean still wants Gallus. So
So you
idea.
trust Shawn Michaels with all these decisions?
yeah, I do.
Good luck with that one.
Better than how did my old writer Jimmy do for you, man?
Oh,
Okay, Paul. Whatever.
Why'd you let him go? I want to know. What was he making too much sense when he was pitching storylines to you or something?
No, no, you didn't even know who Okada was.
Hey, listen, man. When you're stuck in one bubble, it's hard to watch a lot of bubbles. So I get it.
yeah, that's a valid point there, Mr. Khan, when you think about it. Um,
Steve, were you trying to hold back your laughter there?
no, no, no. Well,
Oh my! You know what, Steve? We pretty much reviewed the show for you. Whatever. It's whatever, man. Everyone hated this show. Everyone hates what I do. I am going to take a bow. Thank you, everyone, for nothing really. You guys are just hating for no reason. But next week episode, Friday night fight, Wednesday night.
You can't even say your show name right. Wow.
Fight night AEW Dynamite will be one of the biggest shows of all time, and you don't want to miss it. It will have.
What will it have, Tony? Please tell me what it will have.
All your.
If I'm making you nervous, Tony, I can leave if I'm making you nervous.
No. It will have it will have Camille taking on Chris Statlander, and it will also have Swerve taking on Shelton Benjamin.
Wow. Can't miss. I'm going to be glued to my seat. I'm going to be glued.
Mr. Khan, if you don't mind, there's
And
another
also,
question.
2 weeks from tonight, Jamie Hayter taking on Penelope Ford.
What? Wait.
Remember, Tony. Remember,
Wait.
Tony Khan does have a victory.
Steve, stop.
Okay.
What do you mean 2 weeks from tonight?
2 weeks from Wednesday, Jamie Hayter taking on Penelope Ford.
The returning Penelope Ford. The returning.
Wait. Why is that being announced so far in advance?
Well, because we want to hype up the show on November 6th, Paul. Maybe you should take.
Oh my God. All right. Well, Steve, I'm out of here. I don't know if Tony's hanging around for a bit more, but I'm heading out.
All right, Mr. Levesque, you have a wonderful night. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you have a prosperous weekend, and hopefully some parlays will hit. Mr. Khan, you still there, Mr. Khan?
So stupid. Of course, you set this up. I knew you said you give him the link.
I did not set this up. I guess just like you, I guess one of his staff members sent him the link.
My review ended up being talked about with WrestleMania tickets. This is my show, not his show.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that because I was going to mention, Mr. Khan, I was going to mention, the card for next week. Yes, you do have Shelton Benjamin and Swerve Strickland. You also have announced.
I said Friday night because originally this was going to be a Rampage special.
Speaking of Rampage, Ricochet will be wrestling on Rampage. You got a lot of people
versus Nick Wayne. This is going to be a great match, and people need to stop treating Rampage like it's a bad show. It's one of the best shows on Fridays.
Some people feel like, oh man, he got relegated to Rampage so fast. What a lot of people are saying. Hey, I'm not saying it, but it's being said on the streets. There's a question from Anthony, Mr. Khan, if you don't mind. Anthony, Tony, can you explain to me how it's not hypocritical the MVP accused WWE of forcing him to lead a Black Stable when he's doing the same type of thing in AEW?
That sounds more like an MVP question more than a Tony Khan question.
Wow.
Thanks for asking, though.
So good, it's canceled after this year.
All right, CPZ. Yeah, can we time out some CPZ from the chat? He's being a troll.
Remember, Mr. Khan, if you remember, he does own part of something about Dynamite. If you, I don't know if you remember, but
he owns. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, remember. You gotta go back to the Big Bang one, but that's no here or there. But yes,
you always remember when you beat me. Whatever, Steve. We should have a rematch soon, and I'll beat your ass.
I'm recovering still. I'm recovering. So far, the doctor won't clear me. So there you go.
But anyways, yeah, I really do gotta head out. I'm just here to say, Steve, you guys really need to start. You guys really just need to start trusting what I'm doing. Right? If you guys trust what I do, it'll be one of the best shows you've ever seen.
There you go. All right, Mr. Khan. We'll take it to consideration. Thank you. Guys, there you go. Look, guys, we had Triple H and Tony Khan here on the show. Incredible. Fucking incredible. Look, I'm just going to run through this shit because honestly, I don't feel like fucking covering everything here. Kyle Fletcher showed up and basically he talked about Will Ospreay and being compared, and he ended up shaving his head. Yeah, good. So long, Will cosplay. We had Brian Cage and Lance Archer beat up two jabronis like it was nothing, whatever. You go back to the park, you go to the locker room, and the whole locker room was waiting for BCC once again in the parking lot. And Chuck Taylor came up and talked to Orange Cassidy about being a leader. Yes, Jericho defeated Mark Briscoe in the ladder war. Damn. Camille defeated Camille. They aired a vignette for Camille Statlander. Adam Cole came out. He was interrupted by Roderick Strong, Mike Bennett, and Matt Taven. And they all seem to be on the same page regarding their feeling towards MJF. Roddy says he wants a match with Max first. And this brings MJF on the video wall getting a message. He says that he will give a match to either Roderick or Adam. Whoever wins 3 matches first will be able to face him at AEW Full Gear. Maxwell also claimed that he would not appear until the pay-per-view. They agree, and everybody has a group hug. And there you go. I was expecting a heel turn. That didn't happen. Once again, MJF trying to do something just to get people to face him. Another hurdles he has to go through. Nah, Steve, you got to roast this show. Look, man, I'm doing my best here. The show was in the mud. Show sucked. And worst of all, I did not have a fucking edible to watch this show. So watching this show sober, again, I don't watch wrestling sober. I think I made that clear a while back. I have to be on something. I have to be high to watch wrestling. You can't expect me at the age of 34 to watch wrestling sober. So the fact that I had no edibles to watch this show last night, of all shows, AEW Dynamite. Damn it. Yeah. What else happened here? We had the House of Black beating up a couple of jabronis. Post-match, Buddy Matthews challenged Adam Cole to a match, to which Adam Cole confronted him backstage, and Buddy said he wants to prove that Adam is fragile. Camille defeated Queen Aminata, to no one's surprise. Then Chris Statlander confronted Camille and Mercedes Moné, so there was that also. Christian Cage arrived to the arena with the group of wrestlers outside, that being in the locker room, who were waiting for BCC. And out of nowhere, you see Kip Sabian showing up. And there's a chase. From there, we see Hook. He said the person who attacked his father is in the ring. He rushes to the ring, but Sabian gives him a low blow before he can attack Christian. Christian then starts ordering Sabian to stand in the corner, and Nick Wayne hits Hook. Wayne hits Wayne's World on Hook, and then Christian hits the kill switch on Hook over the case holding the contract. Look, something for Hook to do, and I guess for Christian to do until he decides to invoke that contract. Big whoop. And I guess so too. Yeah, I think also most likely Kip is replacing Killswitch. So there's that also. After this, we got the main event. Private Party, Daniel Garcia versus the Elite, the Young Bucks, and Jack Perry. The match itself was there, but obviously, when it was all said and done, Zay pinned Matt Jackson, right? And then he challenged the Young Bucks to a tag team title match. And the Young Bucks agreed because Zay made the stipulation that if they lose, they have to split up. Private Party will have to split up. And that got the Young Bucks to consider, like, all right, fine, you got it. So, yeah, next week that is happening. I mentioned the graphic earlier. I posted this graphic. Where is it at? Here it is. It's happening next week, right? The tag team match. If Private Party loses, they have to split up. And then after this, we see what do you happen to see? The BCC arrived and they attacked Garcia and Private Party. So basically, the entire roster were waiting in the parking lot the entire fucking night just for them to show up through a different side of the building, and they made the attack. And then you see John Moxley showing up, and he drags Chuck Taylor. And they do the whole thing with the stomp on the chair. I think it was Claudia who did it. Then everyone came out. Orange Cassidy was angry. So they're going to go with it. They're going to have Orange Cassidy be the one. I thought going to be Darby Allin. Alex writes here, I love Jericho winning the ROH title. He is the GOAT. Respectfully. But that was Dynamite as a whole. Yeah. No bueno. No bueno. But to let you guys know real quick, this was going down in AEW the next couple of weeks. This Wednesday on Dynamite, it is Shelton Benjamin versus Swerve Strickland. You will have Adam Cole versus Buddy Matthews. You will have Camille versus Chris Statlander. And, of course, the Young Bucks defending the tag team titles against Private Party, where if Private Party loses, they have to split up. On Rampage this Friday, you do have Ricochet versus Nick Wayne. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is going down on Rampage this Friday.
Is the hashtag AEW Rampage after it? Like, no one's watching that, dude.
Yeah.
Stop.
Could you see a character change for Orange Cassidy? They can try to force it, but it's going to take a while and a lot of work. Like, look, we know he can go in the ring. We know that he can wrestle, put on good matches. Yes. But it's also the character switch. And that's something that AEW needs to figure out. So we'll see. We'll see how they manage to get there. And also, like we mentioned this earlier, but in 2 weeks' time, it will be in 2 weeks' time, of course. It will be Penelope Ford versus Jamie Hayter. The returning Penelope Ford is about taking out Jamie Hayter. So there you go. I'm a Darby fan. I'm seriously worried. 1 second here. There you go. I'm a Darby fan. I'm a Darby fan, man. I'm seriously worried that AEW has given up on him. That's why they gave his title shot to Moxley, and they don't believe that he can be the face of the company. It's just that I don't know what's going on. I maybe he's hurt or something, but I just feel like they had their opportunity and they didn't go with it. To me, honestly, you should have had Darby Allin versus Bryan at Wrestle Dream. I know they're supposed to do it at Arthur Ashe. I was there, and they did what they did. I don't think they're giving up on him though, because no matter what happens when he's out there, he gets a pop. So yeah, we'll see how that goes also. But ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it for me. Yeah. Thank you all. Much love to all of you for tuning in. If you are new to the channel, again, hit the subscribe button down below. All that fun stuff. We were active on the channel as well. We've been active here on the channel. We've been very active here. I think the point of the story is to give Darby the title. I think that's also possible too. But in case you guys have missed it, on Tuesday, myself and Big Mike and Chase, we did a Raw rundown where we recapped everything that happened on Monday Night Raw and how Jey Uso did it to himself, put the blame on Jey, lost the Intercontinental Championship to Braun Breaker, all thanks to Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And then on Monday on Steve's Kitchen, we talked about everything that's been going down from this past weekend with Jey Uso going to SmackDown, the news of Samantha Irvin leaving WWE, and of course, Francis Ngannou returning to MMA, PFL, and becoming the PFL Super Fight League heavyweight champion. So there's that also. So go give those a watch when you if not. Thank you again. Thank you. Exactly. Great review. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you, Team Couponer. Appreciate that. But that's gonna be it for me. Follow the Around the Point Network over on X at 8C Point Network. Follow us there. Follow me on X at Heel Steven. I want to thank Paul and Tony for tuning in. Thank you guys. Thanks to them. But yeah, once again, bro, John Moxley made everyone feel stupid as shit. All right. That's going to be it for us, though. For myself, for the investors, this has been Something About Dynamite, a.k.a. S.A.D, here on the Around the Point Network.
Thank you. Fuck you. Bye.
No, Millie.